Before we dive into today's episode, we just wanted to kindly remind you that you can support us over on Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone that does. It keeps us ticking over, doesn't it, boys?
100%.
Over there, you can get an extra episode every 2 weeks. That's the current schedule.
Yes.
There's loads over there that we've already recorded that you can get instant access to.
40 hours of bonus content there.
Nation.
40 hours?
Yeah, 40 bonus
full work week.
Wow.
And then we've got we've obviously got all the live shows up there. So we've done about 9 or 10, I think, live shows and just wee special things.
Have we?
Now they are including things like when we went to Germany, there's a wee behind the scenes thing there. And some of the episodes are chopped up. But basically now you can get access to all of those if you sign up to the Patreon. You can also now buy them individually. So if you're not on the Patreon, you're like, I don't want to sign up to a monthly thing. What you can do, if you'd like to just see any of our previous live shows as a one-off thing, you can buy
Pavilion,
the Glee stand, any of the ones for the Fringe, London, etc. Right? You can buy them individually now. So you can just go, don't know what I want to watch tonight. I maybe want to check out. We've done the Glee. I want to see the behind the scenes footage for the Pavilion. We actually done there's a documentary one from the Fringe the other year. Stuff like that is all up. You can just buy it as a one-off thing if you'd like to, or you can get access to all of them, as well as all the bonus content just on the Patreon for as little as £3 a month.
£3 a month. That's
What's
all.
that?
What is that?
Nothing.
That's like
It's a cup of coffee.
I don't even think you could get a cup of coffee these days with that.
Certainly not where I go for them. But the obviously you can also you'll get first dibs on tickets for upcoming live shows. We do some stand-up shows sometimes through the Some Laugh brand, and we also of course
do one this Sunday, which sold out quickly, didn't it?
Yes,
so if you want
indeed.
first dibs on the next one,
sign up, or any upcoming Some Laugh live shows as well. And aside to that, we myself and Stu also have tours on sale at the moment, don't we?
yes, I would love to see some listeners out in the key battleground states
Yes.
where I'm going. Get me online, you can see the schedule.
Aye, and same with me. I'm doing summer of 2025. Tickets going fast for UK and Ireland dates. Again, link will be in the description. So hopefully see you there at the live shows. And aside from all of that, enjoy today's episode.
Enjoy the episode.
Enjoy.
Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh. So, if you went back to jeans, what were you wearing before?
I was a trouser. He was saying I was a trouser boy.
Just trousers?
Yeah.
Do you know, that used to confuse me. Stu was doing a bit for ages about how he only had 2 pairs of trousers. I was like, but I was thinking he meant like trousers is the catch-all term for any.
That is what I meant. I would use trousers to mean
But,
it.
but I thought, because when you're used to this bit about like going to like a corporate sort of football match, you need to dress up, and I thought you meant like dress trousers. But that's what I assumed you're referring to. Whereas initially when you said trousers, I was thinking all types of trousers. So you can't only have 1 pair of jeans and 1 pair of that, but you generally only have.
Well, now I've got more. But
How many you got now?
5, at least I'd say. I'm doing alright. 5 pairs of trousers. 3 of them are the same from Uniqlo.
Are you including
I've
shorts?
also got 5.
Oh, how many trousers is
I just
everyone?
done the math.
I would say
Too many.
I just bought 2 pairs.
Well, I've got I would say probably get 2 pairs of jeans that I rotate, but then if you're talking like dress trousers, there's a couple in the cupboard that come out for the special occasions.
Funeral trousers.
I've also
Grief trousers.
I've got suits as well. I don't count the suits as part of the trousers.
Aye, that's what I mean. Like they're kind of set back. Aye, but
So you have-
so at one point you only had like what 1 pair of jeans and.
So funny to have 2 guests on and then talk to me about my trousers.
Listen, we'll get to the guests.
Get it, Grace. We'll get it, Christopher. List your trousers that you had and do have.
These, and they're fucked because I fell off my
So
bike.
and they're what kind of like
These
corduroy.
They're not cord. I don't know what they are. They're kind of cheap Uniqlo trousers. They're
Right,
jean adjacent. I'd
Denim
say.
Shout
of
out
some
to Uniqlo.
description.
I've got these in blue and I've got these in beige.
right, and that was it.
I've got an olive pair that I got from M&S because I'm in my 30s
come
now and I'm shopping
on.
at M&S.
Max and
All
Spencer's
elasticated.
I've got Marks and Spencer's chinos. They're
Good
good.
gear.
They're good.
Good, do you get
Used
yours
to.
for?
They're
Chris?
durable.
If that's so,
Huh?
where are you getting yours for? If that's so laughable.
P&O.
This is the conversation. We
P-
thought that was a
P&Q,
fucking
sorry,
cruise
aye.
company.
Aye,
P and Co. the menswear
He's got Calmac trousers.
deadline trousers.
What do you feel about men's clothing? Our attitude.
How many
and-
trousers you got, Grace?
How many trousers you got?
Heaps, too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't pack it. My mom had to post. My mom recently posted me, and you know how when you post something internationally, you have to like write a description of what's in it. Just
Oh.
big parcel, and she just went clothes brackets winter. She
That's-
just posted me all these black trousers that I left behind because
Oh.
I don't like to wear black, and I have to for work, and so she just put she just put the most ramshackle collection of things. She put like a pair of socks in there that she's like, I bought these in Edinburgh when you were 3. And I was like, okay. They're still very functional. Just random skivvies and like scarves and a hat that has like a New Zealand slogan on it.
All right.
Yeah.
You
What's the
familiar
slogan?
with the term skivvy?
Yeah.
Skivvy?
Yeah, like a skivvy, like a person who does skivvy work.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
Is that what
I
do
thought
you
you
mean
meant
by
shiny
skivvy?
clothes.
A skivvy's like a tight long sleeve top.
Oh.
Oh, a skivvy's like a person who does
Aye.
shite
You know the
work. innit?
Wiggles?
The Wiggles?
You identify them by the colour of their skivvy.
We would say that was a top.
Oh.
We have, for the listeners, we have interpreter today, Christopher MacArthur-Boyd, who's been doing something of cultural exchange here.
I did like the first week I moved to London. I moved in with my tech from Melbourne Comedy Festival last year, so I did already know her, but I didn't know there was going to be like a translation issue, and I didn't realize because I have I have an entirely Kiwi family, but I grew up in Australia, so I spent all my life like saying the New Zealand word for the thing, and then like code switching into the Australian word for the thing, and then I'm here. So I say Kiwi, Australian, British, like in quick succession, like I'm having a stroke. And then I was like, she was like, oh, I want to wear this top, but I want to wear this dress, but it's too cold outside. And I was like, well, you could put a skivvy under it. And she looked at me, and I was like, I don't have another word for skivvy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know where to go from here.
Where to go? There's no.
Vest.
No, it's not
A vest has no arms.
Oh, so this has arms.
It has arms.
So a
It's
top.
like an armed
Yeah.
vest.
A t-shirt.
No.
There's like an undergarment in it.
Yeah, it's like made
Under
of
Armour.
wool.
Aye,
It's,
like
it's,
one of those
It's like
things.
a thermal is what we said a lot.
Thermal.
Thermal.
Now you're talking
Thermal.
my language.
But not
Long
necessarily
johns for your top.
Yeah.
Top long.
You got a pair of long
Top
johns?
long.
Long
That's
johns.
translating to the 1940s.
He's translated on behalf of Wee Willie Winky.
Did none of you have long johns?
Oh yeah, I've got long
I'd
johns.
call them thermals. But we were in our
As if
group
you got a
chat,
bum flap or not.
we were slagging
That
Chris for
can't
calling
be the differentiation.
Is it?
Do you know when you see a wee prospector in a cartoon for the
Aye,
40s? And
he's got a bum flap.
Is there a New
He's got a wee
Zealand
bum
word for
flap.
bum flap? Is it?
That's crazy. I forgot about the bum flap. How is
just
it?
long johns.
Surely it's harder to unbutton the bum flap than just pull down the
I
trousers.
think
What?
This is what I'm saying.
I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with the bum.
No,
flap.
but-
No,
Because
not
it's
a
a
man.
full boy,
Can we explain
right?
for the listeners what the bum flap is?
It's pretty
Hell no.
Is this
self-explanatory.
from long johns, you're saying?
Yeah,
Yes.
they've got two buttons. There's a flap where the
Assless
bum is.
bum flap chaps.
Aye, but it's got a flap instead
It's
of
like
assless.
that
So you
thing
don't
at
have
the
to pull
flirt.
them down when you go to the bathroom.
But
It's
if
too
you were
cold.
pulling them down, because it's a long john, you would have to pull your shoulders down and then shimmy it down your entire body.
No.
No,
Is that
that's
not the reason for the
dungarees.
flap, though?
Huh?
Is that not why they've got the flap? So
That's
they don't need
why
to do
the
that?
bum flap's there, so you don't need to de-sleeve to do a shite if you're a
You wouldn't be that
prospector.
confident of not taking
If you're a
shit in your
skivvy.
trousers.
If you're a skivvy, you wear long johns
If you're-
and you can,
yeah.
you know.
Long johns don't have straps.
No, I'm talking, do you not have proper long johns that go up your whole body?
You know how many of my
Oh.
conversations now are about translating words for things?
Yeah. Well,
That's all I'm doing.
what you
That's
said-
day to day. That's all just on the way here, I was like, oh, that dog's feet are so cold. He needs some little gumboots. And then I had to describe what gumboots were.
You guys take a wild
Shoes
guess.
for dogs.
That's what I thought.
Gumboots.
Gumboots.
Are they the boots they give you at the sexual health clinic? Come on! Come on!
Why would they give you
The gum
boots
clinic,
in
that's what they call it, isn't it? It's Sandyford.
I don't go
Why
there.
would you wear boots?
I'm a married man, Jennings. I don't go to
I
that.
don't have sexual health.
This is a men's sexual health podcast. It's good
What
instead
I
of
got-
just 5
I feel
people
very
talking across
unwelcome.
What a gumboot is, Grace.
They're like rubber boots. Wellington.
Wellies.
Wellies.
And they don't have the cultural
If it
hang of
wasn't for your
Wellington.
gummies,
If
where
it
would you
wasn't
be?
for your gumboots, where would you be?
Yeah,
Did you-
yes.
Yeah.
What's that?
Fred Dag.
Billy Connolly?
What?
What
You
are you
never
talking
heard that?
about?
No.
Shout out to Billy.
What are you talking about? You've never heard if it wasn't for you wellies? Like probably-
Wellies, not gumboots.
Oh, for
Oh
fuck's
my
sake.
god!
He's fucking riffing, lad.
He's
No, but
riffing.
that is like
That's a song.
But
that's a
then they
song
actually did.
in New
So he's not
Zealand.
riffing,
Fred
lad.
Dag.
What?
If it wasn't for your Gumboot,
If it weren't for your gumboots,
Hang
where
on.
would you be?
Oh,
You'd
that's
be
an
in
actual
the
thing.
hospital or
Yes.
infirmary.
no, that's a Billy Connolly. Is Billy
Maybe he
Connolly
ripped it from
stole
Australia.
from this
He probably
obscure
went
man?
over and done I'll change your words.
Likely.
He died in his arse the first night, and then there's a week.
Either that or I think he's taking that for Billy. That's what I believe.
Oh, I've never thought of. I've
What's the guy's name?
I didn't have a Billy Connolly record. I had a Fred Dag record.
Fred Dag.
Well, Fred Dag is like
You're being exposed.
The Australian hack.
John
Fuck you,
Clark
Fred
is the
Dag.
comedian. The character he used to do is called Fred Dag, and then he moved to Australia and he was in like a duo called Clark and Dorr, and they died.
If it
recently,
wasn't
or a few
for-
years ago.
You ever heard that dag, Steve?
You like dags?
Yeah.
Like dogs?
It's like,
It's
is it
like-
not like,
It's like a bit of shit stuck to the bottom of a lamb.
Oh, like dangleberries?
yeah.
It says New
Dangle
Zealand
Bakers.
folk song.
Yeah,
Either
Isn't
this
it?
guy,
Yes.
either this guy has ripped off beloved national treasure Sir Billy Connolly,
no,
or
other way.
Billy Connolly.
Absolutely other way.
Fraud all along.
I'm a fucking thief.
Oh no! our
We
hearts
have
been
we have a real cultural connection to gumboots because it's so muddy.
But Billy Connolly's so big in New Zealand and Australia, although he would probably been smart.
He
to
wouldn't have
not
done
that
his. He wouldn't have
song.
done his ripped off set in the southern hemisphere.
Well, no one would know about Welly's
Yeah.
money
To
anyway.
be serious, he comes from a folk music tradition where ownership and,
So does
writings-
everyone.
I know, but they don't give a fuck who wrote the song as long as it's good. That's the kind of folk thing.
Fair. That was very interesting what you said. You use that term, which is a modern term for something that is it goes back centuries, but code switching.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's interesting you say you need to do that being like from New Zealand to Australia, because I feel like we need to do that a lot as Scottish people when you're in England and on that.
Oh yeah.
And then you're having to do it again in the
People
UK.
do not know where the fuck I'm from here. It doesn't matter to them at all.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, in Australia, they're like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I was born here, but I have Kiwi family here." They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Antipodes."
But that I wouldn't have thought that there would be such a big difference between such a need to code switch between Kiwi and Aussie.
I still haven't figured out what the Australian word for domes is.
What's a domes?
It's like
your head.
a snap, it's like a closure that you snap shut.
Velcro?
No,
Oh, like the buttons, but they're
I'm just doing the motion.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
like
little
pop-up.
crab.
Like, on-
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
on
We
bed
call them
sheets.
poppers, but we also call
On bed clothes.
nitrates poppers
I'm
as well.
confused.
Like on your Kappa trackies.
When you rip
Oh,
off your Kappa trackies and then
break
why
away.
do you need a word for that?
Well, this is the thing. I have only
I don't
ever.
know what you do when I'm taking off my long johns. What do you call those wee buttons?
My butt flaps.
Is the thing I realized that I'd never had to use the word to anyone as an adult, and the only person I'd ever heard the word from is my mom, who is from New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I had never. I was like, I've never had to translate this before. I do not know. I was in a sewing shop being like domes like they like this like a crab domes like a
crabs.
maniac.
I wouldn't have known what the
Domes is
term
that?
is either. I would just call them buttons.
But I wasn't looking for buttons. I was looking for
But
domes.
yeah,
good
but now
enough.
you said they are different.
Yeah.
Domes doesn't sound like what they are, though. I wouldn't say.
No,
Oh,
well,
they're a wee dome.
yeah, there's like
to
a
an
pointy bit
extent.
that goes in there.
Yeah, never seen the Millennium Dome, bro.
It's like that.
It looks
Yeah, it's
exactly, like that.
Also, poppers are currently the bane of my existence because I've been working in a sex shop, and people keep asking me. I don't know how I'm allowed to. I don't
You
know what
selling
the
a lot of butt flaps?
I don't know. I don't know what the legalities are on selling poppers, but I'm somehow allowed to. They all say like
You ever done
air
poppers?
odorizer.
Relaxant.
Well, it's see
Mate.
in the bars there's a sex shop, and on the front of it says poppers sold here.
Well,
So-
they come in and they ask for poppers, which I'm like, fine. If they already know what they want, I just sell it to them. But sometimes they ask me for recommendations, like I'm a sommelier. I'm like, I don't know. Pick
You
a
ever done
bottle,
them, Mark?
man.
You ever have pops?
Coincidentally, I did do them once in a gay bar in Australia.
All right.
And I
Did
had
you
the
like
best,
it?
best night of my life.
Yeah.
No, I actually, I
That makes
was,
your butt flap as
You
well.
don't do drugs at all?
No.
No?
Somebody just get, and I just was like, I'd had that many drinks. I'm like, you know what? and then it's just, it's like 10 seconds or something, and then
Yeah,
you lose
my
a
drinking drugs hell chapter. You're not using 5 seconds of poppers.
Yeah, that's why I've never understood Nangs either, because I'm like, why you're only high for like 10
gonna need
seconds,
code switch
and now
for
you
that.
Is that like balloons?
but yes, what's
Balloons?
it?
Laughing gas.
Oh,
You get like cream charges.
Yeah, you go.
When I went to Magaluf, we went to BCM, and that was the first time I ever came across laughing gas. I'd assume you might have had a similar.
You
You're
go
so
to
laughing gas.
I've never been to Magaluf.
Buchanan Club Magic.
Did you not have it in Zante or wherever you'd went?
Nah, maybe.
I can't believe. Yeah, I would have put money
They
on
done
you being
laugh-
able to take laughing gas before.
They done laughing gas, but I stayed away from it.
Yeah.
I done the dentist's
Drugs are
chair.
for mugs.
I don't know
Have
if
you
it is
ever-
laughing gas. Is it laughing gas? It's like in the little.
nitrous oxide.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is?
We call it.
I
laughing
think
gas.
so. Yeah.
Oh.
Did you do the,
Canisters. I bought them in Tenerife off of the same woman who was in the paper for selling them to Jack Grealish.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's
Claims to
cool.
fame.
Yeah.
This was
Very
before he
cool.
was he was still, as
Don't
a
know who
music
Jack
He's still in
Grealish
the
is, but I made
championship.
the noise.
He was a footballer.
Okay.
Still is.
Yes,
At the
well
time
done.
of recording.
Oh,
Thanks, guys.
have we started the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is it.
Nearly finished.
Thanks for joining us, Grace.
We're joined by stand-up comedian Grace Jarvis.
Can I just go back to this? See, when you said about poppers, I was thinking that you're talking about the poppers that you pop off your trousers, like
That's
when
what
you.
we're talking about.
But then, how did we go into poppers the drugs?
because it's the same name.
Because I'm selling them.
Same word.
Oh, yeah, she's selling them.
Right, so
All my
they're the,
trousers
but
are
why?
poppers,
So
by
why
the
are
way.
they the bane of your life?
Well, because people keep asking me, like, which one should I get? And I'm like, I've not tried. I don't know. I'm not even sure I'm allowed to tell you what to do with them.
Yeah.
They all say do not inhale on the bottle, which is, I'm pretty sure, what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Absolutely class poppers.
they're all like, they're called like room
Don't
odorizers.
do poppers,
Do
guys.
them now.
It's like room odorizer, do not inhale, but they're all called like Berlin XXX and like
Yeah.
It's a
Liquid
loophole.
gold.
A
is the
rush.
best one.
I can tell you from my experience. Don't make the
I've
same
been at the
mistakes.
brink.
I had a sore head for over 5 minutes.
That's a great joke.
And my arsehole went inside out.
But, so see, right, because so they're
didn't even get to have gay sex.
they're a legal high. I never said that. They
Okay,
are.
well then I feel like that's what the podcast should be about.
It is. It's a men's sexual health podcast. So they're legal high, I guess. Then.
Yeah.
But, so see if it says do not inhale. What's their kind of cover purpose? Why?
I guess it's so
Desk
that if you
cleaning.
inhale one and you die, then they can be like, well, we said not to.
But
Yeah, it's meant to be like a room odorizer.
Yeah, it says
or
room
something like that.
odorizer.
You can make a
odorizer?
room smell weird, or you can you can clean a CD. So you can it's CD cleaner.
You can make a room smell like everyone's been doing poppers in this room.
So is it meant? But see if you're doing that in the room. Is your arse just meant to get like just slightly? Is it because that's the thing, isn't it? That it
Yeah.
loosens your
That's
arse.
microdosing
Oh,
poppers.
How does that work? What's the science behind that?
I'm glad to have Dr. Jarvis with us to explain.
So like,
Someone the other day was like, what? Like he was trying to buy something else, and I was like, okay. And he was very nervous about the fact that he was there in the first place, and English was his second language. So I was already struggling to figure out what he was actually trying to achieve. And then he pointed behind me at the poppers and was like, what are those? And I was like, oh, they're poppers. And he was like, and I was like, I don't know. I think you inhale them. And then he was like, and I was like, you know Troye Sivan? And he was like, no. And I was like, I don't know, gay men use them to have sex. And he went, I'm not gay. And I was like, no, I wasn't like accused. And he like dropped everything he was holding and left the shop. And I was like,
God.
for God's sakes.
toxic masculinity.
That is.
That's
Toxic
like a scene from a
masculinity.
film with two virgins that don't know anything about sex.
I was like-
somehow find themselves in a sex shop.
It is truly crazy how many people are like affronted at my assumption that they're gay, where they come in and they're like, I want to buy a strap on. And I'm like, okay, cool. What kind? Who are we having sex with here? I need so much more information. And then when I'm like, is it for you? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, well, you've only given me a certain amount of information. I don't know what to work
It's the
with.
must-have gift this year.
Strap on.
Big rubber fist. Yeah.
How much like how sheepish are people when they come into a sex shop versus are certain people just opening and will just tell you that stuff only, or are people quite kind of like nervous and stuff?
There's 3 categories. There's people who are very nervous and alone and don't want anyone to see them. The other day someone came in, he was like 18, 19, this boy. He bought 1 bottle of lube, put it on the counter, and I was like, would you like a bag for 10p? And he was like, I wish for my face to be forgotten. And I was like,
Wow.
That's
I like
And then that guy had
immediately
shot
looked up
the
and
CEO
memorized. I was like,
Luigi Mangieri? Mangieri?
I would not have remembered you at all if it weren't for the fact that you've said that, because I've like immediately looked up and like memorized your face in case I have to describe it to someone later. And then there's like, then there's
You
someone.
just had the driest face ever. That was what lube was for.
Yeah.
You needed a dermatologist, that guy.
So the people have a very weird relationship with lube in the shop. The other day, someone came in and was like mad that I didn't have more than 4 500 milliliter bottles of lube, and I was like,
You didn't have more than 2 liters of lube.
I thought P Diddy was in jail now.
and I like later I was like, I guess he must have been having an orgy, but at the time I was like, I don't know, is his friend like stuck in a hole like Winnie the Pooh? Like, what do you need to lubricate that badly?
It's like Keenan and Kel with his head stuck in a fence. You seen that?
I have. That's a great episode. It's a bloody great
Could have
episode.
done with 2 litres of lube.
I could, yeah.
4 litres of orange soda.
Did you see the episode where his insides are orange?
What?
Splinter
It's-
podcast.
It's an
favourite
offshoot
memory.
podcast within an actual podcast episode. It's like Stephen Buchanan and Chris MacArthur present. Remember Keenan and Kel?
Brackets vaguely remember. Keenan and Kel.
I do remember.
Is it true?
I do remember the episode though that he did have the. They done
You're starting the Keenan and Kel podcast.
Hey, listen, I love this podcast. Just engaging with my favourite content creators, and but he's on it. Yeah, they done an X-ray of him, and his ribs were all orange
Yeah.
because he drank so much orange soda, which is what I presume your insides are like because you drink
Yes.
so much Iron Brew, but you're literally drinking right now.
Exactly.
It's killing me.
Although this is not an endorsement.
Grace, do you
Unless
get
you're
Keenan and
sponsored.
Kel
No.
in Australia? Well,
You don't?
I apologise for the last
The
5
fucked
minutes.
up thing about Australia is they don't get Keenan and Kel, but they do get Good Burger.
Too racist for
What?
Keenan and Kel,
So
probably.
they know them.
You've seen the film Good Burger, or you get a joint?
Okay, to be clear, I am not a good representation
Of
of
Australia.
anyone in Australia or New Zealand because I was not allowed to watch TV
Brilliant.
Why?
Why is that?
or really listen to music, or I had a lot of books, but a lot of them were from the 70s.
None of them were Keenan and Kel novelizations.
I had a cat weasel novelization,
Yeah.
and that's not helpful. I thought that would be
What's-
more helpful.
Can I ask the
Is
question?
that like Cat Dog?
No.
That's another good show.
No, Cat
Okay.
Weasel was like a British television show from the 70s about a
Yeah, people
monk
used to
that
say-
travels
Yeah,
to the
cool.
future.
People used to say Jeremy Corbyn reminded them of Cat Weasel, which I thought was unfair. But can I ask why you weren't allowed to watch TV or listen to music?
I don't know. It's not that I wasn't allowed. I think my parents forgot
That it
to
existed.
tell you
give
that.
me access. But I had a whole thing in my show last year, which is now a special you can watch, about how my parents, fully forgot.
How convenient.
Yeah. They forgot to tell me about music. And
That's funny.
It wasn't like you were homeschooled.
no.
No, it was just.
But
My
you must
parents
have
are
heard
very autistic,
Right.
and my dad has like an encyclopedic knowledge of music. He didn't register that in order for me to know about it, he would have to tell me.
Yeah.
And so my only influx, I got like, occasionally I would get CDs. I had like Hits for Kids 3 and So Fresh 2007.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there was like compilation
Is
ones.
that like so now?
No, that's what.
Now
I
that's
call-
what I call
Yes,
music.
that's
yeah.
what it is. And then I had like Sam Cooke and Bing Crosby, like
Right.
from the 40s.
Nothing in between
No.
2007 and 95.
I had Avril Lavigne Girlfriend, and I had Clancy Lowe with the Boom, and I had no middle point. The bit in the special is about how I didn't realize that We Will Rock You. My CD said We Will Rock You Backstreet Boys, and I was like, well, I don't know who the Backstreet Boys are, but why would you lie to me? So I guess they're musical genius.
Was it their cover of it, or was
It's
it?
their cover of it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't say cover of Queen song. It just says We Will Rock You Backstreet Boys, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm hearing this song, so
Yeah.
guess this is what it sounds like. And then we moved, because I come from an army family, so we like moved around all the time. And my autistic Kiwi parents moved up to Tamworth, which is the Australian country music capital. So my largest influx of music was like 6 Australian country music CDs at 8 years old. So then I'm on the playground talking about Slim Dusty and the pub with no beer, being like, am I blending?
If it wasn't for your gumboots.
That's New Zealand comedian
That's
John Clark.
That doesn't include his Australian folk.
No.
You've been getting into country lately.
I've been getting into country recently. The last
Australian country.
4 years.
What does Australian country sound like?
Oh, alright.
It's a lot more like, oh no, please let it rain.
Yeah.
Slash, oh no, please make it stop raining. There's a Lee Kernaghan song called Tallarook where the lyric is like, the fences have all fallen down, the stocks just wandered out, and they tell me when the flood subsides there's going to be another drought, which I think is the vibe, really.
Wow,
The boys from the bush are back in town. You heard that one?
No, but that sounds good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Does it
cow.
have any relationship to the other Boys Are Back in Town song?
No.
Different boys.
They're
They're
Billy
boys
are
Connolly
back
of
in
These are
town.
bush
Australian
boys. These are,
We didn't get Thin Lizzy where we're from.
oh,
They-
man, I mean, yeah, I didn't, yeah.
So anyway, to go back. So
I'm a
the
bad. People are like, you gotta have that in Australia, and I'm like, we have to ask another Australian person.
Yeah.
We have to call in somebody else because I don't. We maybe.
My
But I
favourite
didn't
episode
see
of
much.
Keenan and Kel was when they met Bill Clinton.
It's like when they cut away to Statler and Waldorf in the
it was Bill
Like
Clinton and Keenan and Kel.
Huh? They had like an impersonator or something. They had like a. They go to the Oval Office
Right.
and they make a real mess of things.
That's the other. I used to actually
so.
genuinely get annoyed at Keenan and Kel going, can we not just, can what, can,
One week. That's what I'm asking
can
for.
stuff just stop going wrong?
Yeah.
Can we just stop, can this stop?
Why? I say that sometimes.
There was a woman in Keenan and Kel that would always just go, I see. And I used to always just say that in primary school.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. Not knowing it was problematic. But,
Slightly.
is that it?
I love
The
it.
Clinton thing?
I love it.
I can't say is that it.
That's bad podcasting.
Was there more to the Clinton
that
thing?
it?
Was there more to the
Graham
Clinton
doesn't
thing?
do that.
And that's why we're better than him. All right, he fucking should. We don't care. You've got a new film out. Who gives a fuck?
I'd love
Shut
if he
up,
did that. Tom
Benedict
Hiddleston
Cumberbatch.
doing one of his shite impressions. Is that fucking it? Is it?
That's it, you rat.
I like the
This couch is more squeezed right now than the Graham Norton one.
I like the
We look like when they've
episode.
got a big band on with 10 members and they've all got to squeeze up.
I like the episode where he eats a bike. Have you seen that one?
That's great, that one.
And then he
Graham
pushes
Norton.
his stomach and it goes pring, pring. Yeah, it's great stuff.
Anyway, Grace, what are the other two types of people who come into the sex shop?
There's those people who want their faces to be forgotten.
Yeah,
It's people who are too relaxed and being freak. They're like, no, I prefer the freaks. I like the freaks. It's the like women sort of giggling and groups of men picking up stuff, turning it on, and then not being able to turn it off, and then being like cackling, and then having them bring it to me to turn and me to hit one button to turn it
Right.
off.
I usually have the opposite problem.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
turn on?
Those,
That's quite good.
those are honestly.
Is that it?
I mean,
Sorry.
it's not bad. Those are my least favorite. The other day it was like a group of American teenagers on like a bus tour, and they all kind of cheered when one of them bought a vibrator, and I was like, you could not be more annoying right now. And then the middle is like freaks who know exactly what they want, and those are my favorite.
Is there like a section that's kind of not for public display?
Yeah, there's like the basement.
You go through beads? Do you still go through beads?
Anal bits.
There's stairs, and there's a big sign that's like 18 only, but it's like the whole shop's 18 only. You can't get in. It's like especially down here, it's bad news.
Is it like sex swings and shit like that?
Yeah. It's I've noticed
Wild guess.
the sex shop is kind of like the only place in society where women's health is more like taken care of than men's health, because upstairs is all the women's stuff, and it's like body safe silicone and ergonomically designed, and there's a video of Lily Allen being like hashtag I masturbate, which I'm like, I don't know that this is that groundbreaking, Lily. And it's, you know, it's all about like pleasure and empowerment. And then downstairs men can buy for £30 like a misspelled box of Brazilian herbs and like just a disembodied torso.
Disembodied
Um,
torso.
Like a
tested.
sex toy.
Why do you know?
Steve's one of our regular customers.
It's a kind of rubber torso.
It's a rubber-
You can fuck a torso if you care
It's
enough.
called the Torso 3000. You
It's got 2 holes, and you can make more if you want. But
Some of them have names.
That was some Keenan and Kel episode when they get stuck in that.
When they got Bill Clinton to fuck a torso.
put a cigar up his ass.
I did not have sex with that torso.
I did not have sex with that torso.
Nah, I've only ever been to an Ann Summers. Fun fact. You guys been
What
there?
did you go up to?
Do they have poppers at the Ann Summers?
I don't know if they're allowed to sell poppers there.
I don't know why they're allowed to sell them. I'm like, this is a high street.
But it's a legal high.
I used to
innit?
get my
So
poppers
it's-
in Record Fair next to A1 Comics. There was a heavy metal shop called Record Fair. They sold T-shirts, bongs, albums, poppers.
Merge you want.
What more do you want?
corner shops have started to sell bongs and stuff.
I used to wonder about, because there was one that you'd got. I always remember getting off at near Central Station. There was this place we'd gone to in Glasgow, and it was one of those bong shops, and they had the Bob Marley
Under
stuff.
the
And I used to just think,
Yeah.
how did the police not just stand here and arrest other people? Because if you're buying a bong, what are you using that for?
It's a novelty, isn't it?
It's
yeah,
weird.
it's a novelty item.
I guess
No,
you
but
don't.
It's
Coins in
completely
it.
You can
functional.
shag it.
Yeah,
Quality
I'm,
torso.
I'm surprised we don't sell bongs actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Brazilian herbs.
Do you know what's interesting about all that to me though?
There are
Because
people come in and they're like, "Do you have Viagra?" And I'm like, "No."
You don't?
You could go to the chemist though, and they will give it to you.
You can get a shot that's like meant to be a similar.
Oh yeah, we have that.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
It's called like Spanish fly or something. It's always like, I'm like, I guess flies are horny, but like, not in a way that I
like
would.
They're really horny. They're always on shit
Cosby
and
had a
stuff.
mad
They're like-
routine about Spanish fly, but I always
it's
thought
a
it was
famous aphrodisiac.
All right.
Yeah, it's like a.
But
fly.
again, the ingredients are misspelled, and you're buying them in a basement. I'm just not convinced.
No,
It's
I don't
a-
believe aphrodisiacs. I think it's a lot.
Yeah.
You don't believe aphrodisiacs?
No, people say you have an oyster and then you get the horn.
Because it looks a bit
Spicy
like a
curry.
No.
What?
That
It's
can't be
Spicy
why.
curries and
No,
aphrodisiacs.
That can't
Spicy
be.
curries are, yeah.
I don't want to fuck after a curry.
No.
ever.
Like
on.
if you want to induce pregnancy, induce the baby.
Completely
That's
different
because you're
thing.
farting.
No, it's not.
You're farting a baby.
What? No, it's not.
That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard you say, and that is saying something.
You've got someone who professionally works in a sex shop, knows about this stuff, and then you've got a wee gonk boyfriend that says things like, "You're farting the baby out." Like,
Yeah,
Like a curry with help with a baby.
yeah.
Farting
Grace,
the baby out.
Grace was not told about music when she grew up. There was. Guess what Chris wasn't told about growing up? The birds and the bees was never a
Chris was
chat.
going
Yeah.
on about the
couple
comic in the bong shop.
My
He didn't
dad-
learn about getting laid.
My parents forgot to give me a Queen CD, but they did give me sex ed.
I know that babies
Mom,
don't
I've
come out
dropped
the
another couple of babies off.
Why do you think that curry would help a baby?
Because
What's got to do with the baby? Is it?
It's not the baby; it's the
mum.
fertility.
the spicy food helps you get the baby out of you because you get horny and then you shag, and shagging helps.
No, this cannot be. This.
What's going on here?
This is
What
You've been in
happens
that
the
so much too
maternity
much,
ward
man.
where they get a curry and fuck them?
What?
no. They say sex induces the
Yeah.
baby. So and
Did you learn
curry-
this at your marriage counselling course?
This is what they taught us.
So the
This is what the
Catholics
priest taught us.
And then
I
you
feel like
fart
you've- I
out
feel like
the
you-
baby.
I feel like you've connected two different things. I feel like sex induces labor, and so does spicy food. It's not both at the same
Curious.
time.
You might have a
And none
point.
of that makes it an aphrodisiac. by
No,
the way.
They are
it actually
both-
is the opposite.
Sex is an aphrodisiac for me. Call me old fashioned. Sex turns me on.
What's my kink? Sex.
Having sex.
You're not going to shame me for that, are you?
Do you know what really gets me in the mood? Having sex.
With my wife.
Honestly, what with the freaks I have to deal with on a daily basis. I love that's great. It's great to hear that there are some people who just like having sex instead of involving some kind of weird contraption.
Don't need a
Don't need
contraption.
some Wallace and Gromit shenanigans.
2 litres of lube.
Nobody talks about how he must have had some
Buying a
absolute
pocket
mental
pussy
fuck
that's like
I tweeted that one, so no one likes it. I 21 saying like I bet Wallace would have arrived at the fleshlight long before.
Making out of
popular.
cheese.
100%.
That's not cheese. Okay.
Swiss cheese would have been.
He would have his bed tilt up and he'd fall down right onto a fucking cock.
Grace, how did you come to?
Did you get it started?
Fucking
Do you know what
hell.
I was going to say about that? See those three types of people you've talked about? That suggests to me that it's weird as adults.
This is the three
and-
type of people she's talked about right here.
Nervous, overconfident freak.
And freaks are my favourite, so I've chosen well.
But like, I think it's mad that I think we'd have more of a sort of like grown up attitude towards it. It's weird that fucking everybody's so repressed about it, isn't it?
They're
Like,
so weird.
Aye.
It's truly crazy.
I get so.
I do like my favorite ones are the ones who are just like, "Can I tell you something?" And I'm like, "Yes, tell me right now." This old guy came in the other day and was like, "Right, I've had prostate cancer. I can't get hard. I can't come." I was like, "Bummer."
That's a terrible start.
Bummer's a poor choice of words as well.
I was like,
That's what you should try.
I was like, "That sucks for sure, man. I'm sorry."
Poor choice of words again.
He was like, "But I have a date with a younger woman. She was 60." And I was like, "Cool." And he was like, he bought a strap on. And then I like made him buy a vibrator and lube as well, because I was like, I just feel like if you're a woman in your 60s, you're not like desperate to get like railed. Like I think he was like, I can't get hard, so I need like a penetrative thing. And I was like, I honestly don't know that you do. I think maybe
You're
just
really more in for, I was saying, physical and emotional intimacy would be what you're
A
after. there.
companion.
I would
Not
say
to access the
help with that in the
mindset of a
shop, can you?
60-year-old woman, but I believe that you're not up for like.
I got him like I
bouncing
made
on
him
it.
buy a vibrator that you like,
Anal
put on your
beads or
finger,
whatever.
and I was like, "This is the best I can do." And then it was like £100, and he was like, "That's cheaper than a prostitute." And I was like, "I mean, yeah,
Fucking hell.
I guess." And then he told me about he paid a sex worker once 40 grand, and I was like,
fuck?
"What are you even doing in here?" And I assumed that was pre-prostate cancer, but like. It was a very weird interaction, because it was between like sweet old man and rich horny freak, and I kept being like, "Whoa, which direction are we going in now?"
Stop vacillating, please.
Sometimes those sweet old men are the horniest freaks.
Yeah,
Although,
no, for
you
sure.
don't like to think about it though, do you? Your grandpa being into all that.
Well, he did
I
ask
don't
me if
think my
I.
granddad
He was like,
spending 40 grand. On a sex worker.
That's why he never
think of
left
that.
us. Fuck off.
What do you mean there's
What
no
killed him
page?
actually?
Died in with love.
In the coffin, just pure
Jesus,
cheesed.
man.
Cheesed out his nut.
That seems like a good place to get some good material from.
"Oh yeah, that's next year's show is entirely
Mainly
about
like
this. It's just all sex shop material."
I'm always scared in a sex shop that they're going to shout at me and go, "What are you doing in here? Get out!"
You
you
belong.
wee
there.
virgin.
You're only 31.
As an employee, I do not give a shit.
No, of course not. How would you judge people for buying dildos when you sell dildos?
Do you go in a lot?
I yell at people when they take pictures, because I'm like, "Don't take pictures. There are other people in here. There's a big sign."
It's like when you're in the swimming pool and people take selfies and you're like, I don't want my wee nipples on your
You're not going to take seriously a sign that says "Do not take pictures" when they're selling poppers that says "Do not inhale."
I mean, that's the
That's
thing.
true.
It's a series of oxymorons.
mixed messages into it.
It's the whole place.
very
And the thing I dislike the most is that it's not, we don't, like, we listen to, and initially I was like, we're listening to the radio because it's like the clean version. And then I was like, oh no, this isn't the radio. This is like a Spotify playlist that has an automatic censor on it that's like blanking out the words in the song. And I'm like, and it's really sensitive. It blanks out words that aren't swear words. The other day it blanked out the whole lyric of a song, and I know the lyric to be, "It's cool if you don't want to hang and get loose." And I was like, none of those are swear words. And also, and to make it incredible, I work in a sex shop.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Why am I allowed to be like, the pocket pussies are downstairs? And I'm not allowed to hear Sabrina Carpenter say motherfucker.
Yeah. You're selling a sex swing where you can literally hang and get loose.
Yeah, they blanked out the word COVID and punches. punches. That Noah Khan song where it's like, I'm not proud of all the punches that I've thrown. They blanked out the word punches. I was like, that's not a swear word.
That's mad.
Fucking hell.
It's like, it feels like working in a sex shop during the rise of fascism. And like conservatism feels like the Kit Kat Club in 1930s. I keep expecting the morality police to like barge in and be like, you can't do any of this anymore. I figured I'm not allowed to hear the word punches. So
Do you remember the teenage dirtbag? They used to blank out gun, but they wouldn't blank
still
out
do.
dick. They would say your boyfriend's a dick on the radio, and I would be like,
Boyfriend's a dick.
he brings up to school. I was like, what is he bringing to school?
Chris,
I need to know.
I was saying on a recent episode, right? Now, the big thing with AI in these Spotify playlists now is that there's loads of AI generated songs. And I was
that
listening
explains the horrific days I'm having because I don't know if you've heard top 40 music recently, but oh my God, it's so bad. And it's worse when you can't even hear the swear words.
Well, I was listening to a song and it was a dance
Liam
remix.
Payne has a horny Christmas song. I don't know if you know.
Liam Payne? No, yeah.
That's his swan song.
That was his last track.
Was it?
Wrap you up for Christmas, fuck you in the tree.
You joking?
Is that for real?
Seriously?
It's like
Is that the one?
That's
Santa
Christmas number one,
saw
isn't it?
what we've.
It's gotta be.
He put us on the naughty list, and I'm like, I hate this.
Put
I
me
hate
on the
hearing
naughty
regular
list.
Christmas music in the sex shop, but I especially hate hearing horny Christmas music.
I've
in
never
the
heard
sex
any
shop.
horny.
Elf's cock.
I've never heard horny Christmas music.
I didn't
but
know it was a genre.
Yeah,
it's
that-
awful.
I'm kind of tempted to hear it now.
I was thinking the other day that I think the Proclaimers really missed their they had a good Christmas song in them, you know, Snowflakes on Leaf or something like that. It was there for the taking, man. It was there for the taking.
Earth, Wind, and
10
Fire
inch.
have re-recorded September to be just entirely the same, except it says December.
Oh yeah, that would work. 25th night.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
good stuff.
Anyway.
That's exactly the word.
What I was going to say was this Spotify playlist, it had a Teenage Dirtbag dance remix, and and the tell that it was AI written was when it got to the quote, it says, "Listen to Iron Maiden, baby," and you're like, nobody would have obviously
Iron.
pronounced it like that.
Iron Brew.
And I'm like, this is a fucking weird world we live in now, isn't it? All this
My
content.
favourite censored bit in a song was Missy.
Thought it was going to be another Keenan and Kel.
Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
I loved
Is
it.
it
I loved the
true?
intro song. It was by
Oh
Coolio.
man, fucking banger.
Yeah.
Do do
All right,
do.
you go.
Ah, here it goes. Do 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 do.
Don't get this in the book version, Grace.
What was it? Don't touch that dial. Leave the room,
Surprisingly,
'cause-
several songs that I enjoy are because I read about them in a book.
Really?
I'm like, I should listen to that. That's how I accessed music, is reading someone be like,
You're like a
and then
time
in the
traveler."
book I was listening to this song. And so I looked it up.
Can you read music? Can you read sheep?
You read about
Yeah,
music.
I
you can.
was a
not quite
classical
the same,
singer
is
in
it?
school.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of choirs for me.
You know, it's
A
interesting.
lot of Latin. That's the other thing. Is it's like I was a classical soprano at like an all girls Presbyterian school. So I
Scottish
didn't
school.
get Scottish school. So I didn't get to sing in English, let alone beyond like the 1800s. I once asked my music teacher if we could sing something modern, and he was like, "This is modern. It was written in the last 100 years." And I was like, "It's in Latin." Please, can we have a bit of, I don't know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, anything?
Which is still like 30 years old
Yeah.
at that point.
It's interesting you say that, like about being in a choir and stuff, because I seen that you're on your blurb, your comedian bio, it says like people will often say that you've got such a sweet face, but dark material. People don't expect it.
Yeah.
Do you find that a lot when you're playing, like that people like don't expect to hear the more nihilistic stuff come out? from
They
you?
don't at all. Yeah, I can't. I tried to adjust. No, actually, I didn't. I lied. People like, you could adjust your wardrobe, and I was like, I'm not doing that. But that was
What, to
mostly
dress like a
because
goth or something?
I was like, I don't know.
Chris will say that.
My face still looks like this, so it doesn't really help. Mostly because last year my poster, I looked too sweet. I was like, it was very well lit, and I was holding a goldfish, and everyone thought it was a play. And I had so many people bring their children,
Yeah.
and I was like, I think in Edinburgh there was like an 11-year-old boy in the front row, and I was doing this was doing this routine about this song in Australia called Number One Pussy in the Club. And he literally asked his mother, what is a pussy? In the middle of my show. And I was like, I can't be responsible for this. Why'd you bring him? So this year was like, literally this year I overcorrected and I called my show Oh the Horrors, and I had my graphic designer put a bunch of like bats and spiders around my head, and I asked people to give me quotes that made it clear what kind of comedy I did.
That's a good. Did it work?
Not really, because I still look like this. And also
like
no one reads anything.
Would
Look
it
like
look
a children's Halloween play.
Yeah, like the Goosebumps
Yeah.
play.
It did look a little like that, yeah.
Notes of R.L. Stein.
Also, this year my show was it wasn't even a Halloween show. It was about how we're exactly replicating the events that led up to the Second World War, which at the time everyone was like, I think she's being a bit dramatic. And now everyone's like, have you heard about fascism? And I'm like, I cannot believe that I've missed this by like 6 months.
I done a French show about the possibility of nuclear war in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, still not happened. We're doing all right.
I must have missed that. What, you
It's
done
called The Boyd with the thorn on his side.
and that,
That
was
was
about nuclear
about-
war.
Oh, that's
bits-
one
routine
all the
about
bits are probably
nuclear
about
war.
pasta though.
Yeah, there's a lot of pasta stuff.
It was about Morrissey, wasn't
This
it?
is about Morrissey and nuclear war.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah,
That's how we met.
that's how we met.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know you went that far back.
I got flyered. And I was like, all right. And I walked into the new town and I was like, I've come a long way at this point.
It was when I was at
I
the Rosie
went up a
Hills.
turret.
Yeah, fucking
Tough.
And I was like
Yeah.
one of like 3 people in a room being like, this may, I've come a long way for this.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
It's weird though. You look back, like you're like you used to be in the donut shop and stuff. You look back and you for clarification.
We done a show in a
You
donut
done a
shop.
show in a donut shop in a shopping centre.
Yeah, it wasn't. We had donuts. It wasn't a donut shop.
That's right.
We brought
Oh,
donuts.
that's right. It wasn't even a donut shop.
Yeah.
It was an empty
Shop.
Shop.
Where we
that-
done comedy and then gave people donuts
We
at the
brought
end.
donuts into a
Yes.
shop.
That was
You
our first
bribed
show.
them like a
Pardon me.
horse.
Yeah. We actually had to sneak them in every day because the coffee shop sold donuts and they said we were doing them out of business.
Yeah.
That's another story. What were you saying?
Well, it's like you look back on your early French shows and you're like, oh god, they were shite. I hope nobody remembers it. But then people went to see you and liked it and you had a good time. And you're like, I think the first couple of years you do the Fringe when there's like 3 people in the crowd can be the funnest.
Well, I think even, like some of the great stuff, like I'm sure if Keenan and Kel look back at their early episodes, they would think, that's not that great. But by the time they get Bill Clinton impersonators on, then,
It's interesting when you look at the history of them as a sketch duo because obviously Nickelodeon was kind
I
of.
feel so left out.
Oh, sorry. They were in a sketch show for Nickelodeon. And now
I didn't
Keenan-
have pay TV.
Now Keenan Thompson is the
The only TV I
longest-
saw was on the ABC, which is like the BBC. So it's like,
Is that
No ads.
Australia Broadcasting?
Australian broadcast.
She
Because
thought
there's
she-
ABC in America as well.
That's different though.
Different.
American
I
Broadcasting.
don't think
Australia's
it's
got a lot of
government
good
based.
kids TV now. Bluey and that.
Yeah.
That's all Australian.
Lou's from
Yeah.
Brisbane. I used to do the guy who like organized the first open mic that I ran, like created Bluey.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you
Probably
go.
one of the richest people in the world.
I mean, I haven't seen him in a while, but he doesn't seem to be still doing stand up. So
Yeah.
he was an
You're gonna be
improviser,
organising
actually. I
open
think.
mics
Yeah.
if you've invented Bluey. Did Bluey ever show up to the mics?
back when Bluey was gigging to 3 people.
I mean, I think someone had a blue healer, but
I've been enjoying a lot of your tweets, Grace.
Thank you.
Now on Threads, actually, is where I
Shout out to
spotted some.
Threads.
I'm not
And,
a fan of
Are you on
Threads.
Blue Sky yet, bro?
I'm on it, but I don't. It seems like it's kind of not that way when a pub gets shite and then people start going, "Oh, we're going to go to this one now," but then some people are still the old one and some people went to a
It's too
different one.
fragmented,
It's
the
fragmented.
vibes all off. Yeah.
I don't think, and then people are, ultimately Threads is still owned by Instagram, and then Blue Sky. People have said stuff about that as well. I don't know. It's all fucked. Isn't it?
Basically, I have taken my tweets and I have scheduled them to be posted on different platforms because.
I like it when you can do them on Instagram and you can scroll through them. That's
Thank
good.
you. Yes, that's for the people who refused to get on Twitter even before it was owned by a fascist.
Yes.
But
When you think about it, I remember looking at the graph that's like, here's the amount of people that's on Facebook, here's the amount of people that's on Instagram, here's the amount of people on Twitter. And Twitter was so small. And now these like methadone Twitters, like Blue Sky and
Yeah.
Threads, that's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the people. No one's on there. Everybody's on TikTok, everybody's on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's different generations, but like nobody's on the
I
the fake
refuse to
Twitters
say
anymore.
my tweets into the front-facing camera. I can't be
No,
forced.
No.
Did you?
I tried, but unfortunately TikTok is full of people who assume you aren't joking. I did one tweet. I like during the pandemic, someone was like, "You got to say your tweets to the front. You got to go on TikTok," and I was like, "All right." And I did. It was like the tweet was like, "I think we should re-stigmatize mental illness so that I can get a psychologist appointment. Stop sending your weird boyfriends to therapy. Some of them are just like that." And all the comments were like, "Well, I hope your therapy is for narcissism," because I was like, "Obviously, I'm joking. Oh my god, I'm not a monster."
Yeah.
It's funny.
Sorry, I
you mentioned that.
interrupted you complimenting
No,
me.
no, it's funny. That's a good segue because the one I seen the other day was you saying about like what is it about being autistic that makes the loudest people in the world sit next to you in coffee shops, which is one of my big bugbears. Just when people are, yesterday. To be fair, it was because there was a speaker that was too loud in the corner, and
it's a truth universally acknowledged that the autistic person in a cafe will be sat immediately underneath the speaker playing loud music. Yeah.
Is you autistic, Jennings?
No, but I think I like to I think it's because often when I go to coffee shops and stuff,
You just have ears.
I'll try, but I'm also back to work. I have a bit of quiet, so if there's like a crying kid or people, loud English people or something, I will just move and like
English people
make
as
no
well.
bones about it. But I was like, yeah, that's. Although me and my sister have started to think my dad's autistic.
Because he's deaf.
Well, no,
Because of the fridge magnets.
Well, there's the fridge magnet.
Okay, I haven't heard the fridge magnet story, but just if someone has a story that's like, I think I might be autistic because the fridge magnet. Yeah. 100%.
Can we get a live diagnosis?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Run it past
Even because my sister was saying to me that there's this meme and it's like boomers, we never had autism back in our day, and then it's like their fridge and it's just the way my fridge looks, which is just all the fridge magnets organised,
Beautifully lined
and
up.
then my dad, because not be like that. That parents generally like, they would moan about stuff being left, like shoes at the door and blah blah. But anytime there's anything that's no my dad's in the house now, if my sister or me leave anything in the living room or something, he will gaff his nut to the point where I'm thinking this is beyond normal parental moaning. I think this is like he genuinely is like cannot deal with it, and it's
Some dogs are
changing
like that,
his
though.
environment. What?
Some dogs are like that.
Yeah, all
I wouldn't
dogs,
compare
all
autistic people
dogs
to
have
dogs.
autism.
It's been barking
If
a lot.
only that autistic person was wearing wellies, then they would be fine.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I was saying to Christopher the other day that like having an autistic girlfriend is a lot like having a cat because I keep getting overstimulated and then being like, nobody do anything, don't touch me, no, and then, but also being upset and wanting to be comforted, so I like roll over to be like comforted, and then he touches me, and then I go, no. I'm like a cat wanting to go in and out of the door.
Yeah.
Too many things at once.
Catherine does that. She's like, I need to be left alone, but come with me. And it's.
Yeah, what did I do?
I think she is that.
I thought you proposed to her.
No, I remember your wedding vows, of course.
Honestly, that sounds like that sounds like marriage.
I remember trying
I need to be by myself, but I want you to come with me.
I remember trying to tell you in Aberdeen once that I thought I was autistic, and you were like, "You're not."
No, you have ADHD
I
worse
have
than
ADHD.
anyone I've ever met.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rough.
I want to hear what you were going to say about Keenan and Kel because you were on.
Oh my god!
You were on to something because I was
It was
going to say the same
because
thing. I
You were
thought.
on,
It was,
you're on the cusp of a breakthrough there.
Chris, you're the most ADHD little guy I've ever met. What are you saying about Keenan and Kel? You're not helping them.
He was going to go home as well.
I'm glad you stayed.
no, it's nice. I'm the fifth laugher.
Yeah. But it was about Keenan has skyrocketed and Kel
Whoa,
used to be the popular one.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's
now
rumours
he's-
Kel had died.
There was rumours that Kel had kidded himself.
Huh?
Do you know? Remember the rumour that the Frosties advert? It's going to taste great.
Pencils.
It's
in
going
the
to
eyes.
take pencils up the nose, then headbutt the table.
Doof.
Did he actually do that in real life?
No one's ever done it.
That'd be a weird king to hear about in the sex shop. Isn't it?
How many rubber pencils did he turn?
I guess. It is a lot of problem solving, the sex shop. It's a lot of people who clearly have a specific thing and then they're kind of dancing around the specific thing. And so then I'm trying to find like a substitute for the thing in the, like, it's like, it is like a video game because people are like, I like this, this, and this. And I'm like, right, what have we got in here? I get to go on a little quest. That's fun.
Sounds cool.
There's a lot of women going to countries where vibrators are illegal, trying to buy vibrators, and so I'm like,
That's
right,
crazy, isn't it?
What
What
countries?
countries is that?
Like the,
UAE, Saudi,
Let's all guess.
Jordan.
I was gonna guess those ones.
Yeah, so it's like,
Tehran? I feel like Tehran wouldn't be like.
Tehran is the capital.
The
of
lady
Iran.
from Jordan was like, vibrators are illegal, especially phallic
this is the
ones.
capital of dildoing.
Tehran is the capital
the
of
dildo
vibrator
capital.
town.
Vibration capital of the world.
You can see it peeking out the window of the plane.
Yeah.
dear.
I would have said Qatar, Oman.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah, you don't need a vibrator. You can just say the name of the country. Oh man! Come on, sing it. Come on!
Is that it?
Right, what were you saying? Right, so this.
Keenan and
Fucking
Kel,
No,
right?
the
Kel.
fucking Milky
Oh,
Bar
the
kid.
Milky-
What the fuck you're talking about?
Not the Milky
The
Bar
Frosties cunt and
The
whatever.
Milky Bar Kev shut pencils up his ass and smiled at him.
What happened to Kel?
I think
Milky
my
Bar's
parents,
ass is strong and tough.
I think my parents could have like anticipated me being left out of conversation by not being able to watch TV. I don't think they could have anticipated how much I would be left out of conversation for not watching ads. Like
Yeah.
they purposefully let me only watch TV where there were no ads.
Okay.
And now I'm like, no, I don't remember that.
I love adverts.
Adverts are great.
That checks out.
What was your favourite advert?
It's the man wearing jeans he
The
bought from an
Guinness
advert.
one.
Guinness
What
one?
I
happened
like
to
the
Kel?
Guinness.
That's what we were
Right,
getting.
so the
In
thing
fact,
with
sorry,
Kel.
Was people's Frosties boying themselves listening to this?
Christopher MacArthur Frosties boy.
Like, what could have led to this? Well, I don't know. Maybe take it his AirPods and see if he's listening.
The Cadbury's gorilla. Anyway,
He was amazing.
He was
How
brilliant.
did he do that?
So
Phil
good.
Collins.
Did you get that song growing up, Chris?
In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Now, there's probably some fucking Kiwi folk singer that had his own version of it. The Air Tonight is not fucking rainy enough.
I'm going to start a podcast where people just perform songs for me. You heard
Have you
this
ever
one?
listened to Chris's old music when that was basically what it was?
That,
No, you're right. It's been done.
That round on Buzzcocks where they would have to sing the song.
That was my
good.
dream.
I would love to
I would
do that.
love
Well, it's
to.
still on now.
You know that?
It's back.
It's back. Never mind the Buzzcocks.
I was saying that. Do you know that?
We had a different show. Adam Hills hosts it. What's it called? It's like the only.
Last Leg?
It's the only show that's allowed to be on
Is that one
TV.
called like Spicks and Specs?
Spicks and Specs. Yeah.
What happened to Kel?
Do you know that bit in the Arctic Monkeys album that's like, I just wanted to be one of the Strokes. Now look at the mess you made me make. That's how I felt
You
about
just
it.
wanted to be on
Never mind the
Buzzcocks.
Buzzcocks when I done enjoy an album.
I just wanted to be on Bill Bailey's
I
team.
just
Never mind the
wanted Simon
Buzzcocks is
Amstel to
literally
call me a
on
wanker.
telly,
on right
and
now.
you could probably get on it.
I've
Yeah.
asked.
You've asked.
I've slagged off
What?
too many of the guests.
That's good though. Like that's what would get you on.
That's what you want.
That's
what
what
Simon
Simon
Amstel
Amstel used to do.
did it,
Hey?
Yeah, they need friction.
I can be frick.
Yeah, someone's been working on a sex shop. Anyway,
No,
what happened to Kel?
He became a Christian. He kind of got disillusioned
Brutal.
with.
It was worth it.
That's it, is it?
He got.
A genuine, that's it.
But he was always going
you're
to be
right.
the big
Becoming a
star.
Christian is similar to having a pencil inserted into your brain.
Similar effect.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say, because we'll need to wrap up in a couple of minutes.
Fucking hell.
It's been a fun one.
I know.
I'm gonna say it.
You gonna see it?
I'm
We should
gonna
have
say it.
more and more people. Everyone should stay in. It's like Sergeant Pepper's cover.
I wanted to talk about the you've got a PSA that you do in your set. I was
Public service
watching-
announcement.
Yes, a public service announcement in your stand-up set that I thought when I seen the clip of that bit, it was very informative.
It's
to me.
eye-opening.
Eye-opening, shall we say? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
All right.
What's my PSA?
The alphabet.
Yes.
Oh, the alphabet. Yeah.
Would you mind explaining to
Do
the
you want
listeners?
to
You don't even do the bit.
do
but
the
just,
bit?
You can just say what it is if.
People like men who do the alphabet with their tongues.
Which is a common thing that people. That's
Okay.
when you're
Sex
younger. You
tip.
hear this as a sex tip. You should.
Long before you've had sex.
When you're performing cunnilingus, you should
Yeah.
do the alphabet.
When you're giving a lick out.
Performing a lick out. Practice on a
Yes.
torso before.
That's why people are buying them.
But you had a very good point about this, Grace.
Yeah, it's This feels weird to be fed my own material.
This is what Graham Norton actually does.
So tell me, you had a great impression of
No, the person who invented it should be illegal. It's fucked up, and the reason I mention it is because you can't. The tale that led to me doing the material is that you have to do, if you are going to do the alphabet, you have to do cursive letters, because if you do capital letters, a capital A, you just miss the clit. It's all negative space, a capital letter.
That was like a revelation to me when I said, I'm like, fucking.
Have you been doing the alphabet?
capitals?
This
You've
guy's
been
got
doing block letters?
This,
Yeah.
this explains so much.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you've got alphabet.
Or women
written
you're
all
sleeping
over
with
you.
are like, is this Morse code? What's happening?
What was the worst sex advice you ever got when you were younger that kind of fucked you up, Mark?
I don't know. Well, I don't think I got it because see Catholic school, you didn't even get sex education, so I don't think I got
we didn't
any.
either, really. The best teacher I ever had, she was my maths teacher and then my science teacher. And then I took fashion technology till the end of school because that was her actual subject and I loved her. Mm-hmm. But in year 9, she like kind of closed the blinds, locked the doors and was like, look, I'm not supposed to tell you any of this, but I got pregnant when I was 16. Here's all the different kinds of contraception. And I was like, yes, I love it.
That's good.
Yeah. But
And
yeah,
look
she
at you
really
now,
went rogue.
Working in a sex shop,
Yeah.
and putting that to use.
Recommending liquid gold.
Telling people that oil breaks condoms.
Yeah.
As they buy oil. I'm like, just so you know, breaks condoms. Just, I feel a moral responsibility to let you know.
I seen a lick out instruction video
What?
when I
It
was
was
like,
not just Grace's sex.
no, it was like on a porn website, and it was a woman telling you, here's what I like.
I've seen that.
Yeah,
That seems, the problem with that is that is just one woman.
yeah.
I thought all
Everybody's
lesbian
fanny's
porn
different.
was a like an instruction video.
This was a woman being like, here's a fanny, here's what I like, and she had a thing about like, put your hand on the belly, push down on the belly.
Is that not
women,
CPR?
women famously love it when you do that.
Do it to the tune of Staying Alive.
Yeah, you need a consistent tempo.
I don't think that's,
By the way, I use my woman man.
I don't think that's oral sex advice. I think that's regular sex advice.
To force it, what?
You put your hand here and then you can like feel it inside you.
Is that what that torso's for?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Nina Hartley.
Is that
Do you know her full name?
It sounded like a wrestler
respect.
coming at you now.
WWE champion, Nina Hartley.
Crazy.
Before we wrap
All
up,
my sex
Grace,
advice was just going to an all-girls school and being like, this doesn't count. As an adult, I'm like, oh, I do think it counts, actually. I think that's exactly what lesbian sex is.
Before we wrap up, can you tell us a wee bit about your special?
Yes.
Where did you film it?
I filmed it in Melbourne at Comedy Republic, best comedy club in the Southern Hemisphere, in my opinion.
That's the one Reese Nicholson owns, isn't it?
Reese Nicholson and his partner Kyron have a comedy club. And it's very good because they're comedians.
Yeah.
So they know what they're doing.
They're not off writing Bluey or whatever.
Yeah. I have a constant fear of being in trouble. So I got the footage back and I was like, wow, there's no room to edit around any of this because I just am like, there was like a lineup show after me and I was like, gotta be out of here by 8. So I was like rushing through the material and I'm like, those people like me. Like they wouldn't have been mad at me if I'd gone 10 minutes long on my own show. But anyway, I talk fast as it is. Laura Davis, who directed it, I was watching the footage and was like, wow, I talk so fast. And she's like, yeah, I've been telling you that since I started working with you, and you've actually improved a great deal. Imagine how fast you were talking when I first told you to slow down. I was like, I don't know how anyone's ever understood me on stage at all. But it's called This is the Last Goldfish That I'm Going to Eat For You. It is from the poster where everyone thought it was a play.
Don't be fooled, it's not a play.
It's not a play, and there's no goldfish that are harmed, except for the one that was in the poster.
Which you murdered.
I didn't murder it. It I tried to take it back to the pet shop, but the pet shop closed. Anyway,
Better return the goldfish.
Where did it go?
they said I could, and then they went out of business in the. Watch the special. It's in there. It's about getting diagnosed with autism as an adult, and I did it in Melbourne last year. Melbourne Comedy Festival. I did the Fringe, the Edinburgh Fringe. I did New Zealand Comedy Festival, Sydney Comedy Festival. I did it all over the place, and then I filmed it, and then I had the footage in like May, and I've just been sitting trembling since then, being like, oh no, I just realized people have to look at me. I had to like edit clips of myself, which is hideous. I understand why you guys all have eating disorders now. Yeah, right, okay. Looking at video of yourself is self-harm, which is also what the show's about. Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube on the 13th of December for free, or you can buy it for like $8 on Patreon, which several people have.
Bucks means pounds in
Pounds.
Britain.
It's $8 US dollars, which I think is like 10 Australian dollars, and I don't know.
£5.
£5. I don't know.
Or
That's
more.
pretty good.
I can't remember.
It's a good price.
Thank you very
Nice.
much. It costs
Yes,
a lot more than that to film.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well,
Yeah,
given the subject matter of being diagnosed as an adult, I'll be showing it to my dad.
Yeah, nice.
Are you going to get a
If you
Friends book
have-
for your dad this Christmas?
Sophie's got it. My sister's got it, so I might just maybe I'll just re-gift it for
Yeah.
him. I don't imagine that it's maybe as relevant for my dad.
No, he's never
but
worked in a strip
I don't
club.
think he's struggling to get a diagnosis because he's a young female, but it's just lack of will. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us, Grace.
Thank you for having me. It was
And
very
to a
nice.
lesser
That was
extent,
great.
thank you, Chris.
Oh,
What do you
yes.
mean,
And
lesson?
thank you as well.
Thanks for letting me come and sit. I was just because you picked Grace up at the train station. I was like, I'm just going to sit in Mark's house and read my book, but it's probably better to do a podcast.
Yeah, I think it was better having you here.
I enjoyed your Keenan and Kel
There would have
too.
been less Keenan and Kel chat.
Me and
but-
Stu, and Stephen,
Thank
and
you.
Mark and Grace are starting a new Keenan and Kel podcast called.
check
You've
that
just
out.
listened to the first episode.
This is what is it they call that?
Soft
Sister
launch.
pod.
It's a soft launch.
No,
Sister-
Inception.
it's a proof of concept.
Yeah.
It's a vertical slice.
He's been peer pressuring me into starting a podcast since we started dating. And I do think it's because he wants to just sneak in on episodes of other
love
people's shows.
I love
You're
the
like the
weekends.
neighbour in Keenan and Kel. Hey guys, what are you doing? Recording a podcast?
He wasn't. That was Home Improvement, and Keenan and Kel. It was the owner of the
Sister-
shop.
Kel was
sister,
the
actually.
guy
It
who
was Roger and
Okay.
sister. But anyway, that's for another
Thanks for
day.
listening.
Roger
Thank
was
you
in
for
Sister,
listening.
Sister.
Oh yeah.
Let's wrap this up. Before we go, Grace, where can
Roger.
people find you? Your special's going to be on YouTube.
YouTube, it's at Grace Jarvis. Oh no. On everything. Twitter,
Funny
Instagram,
online.
Threads.
Okay.
Thank
Funny
you so much.
online.
Very
And
funny
on stage.
online and
And in
in
person.
person.
Thank you very much
Uh,
for these compliments.
Before we go, guys, just please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And you can follow us at SumLabPod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And send any questions you've got to the email address, which is sumlabpod@gmail.com. Myself and Stuart are both on tour next year. Chris, you getting the plug coming up? He's got some silly podcast. Don't worry about that.
I've got a live Here Comes the
Oh, aye,
Guillotine
that's right. I did do that.
live podcast in Aberdeen at His Majesty's Edinburgh Playhouse, and do my first ever gig at the Armadillo, which is
There
exciting.
you go. Never heard any of those venues, but okay, that's fine.
Also,
With some little known comics that he does the podcast with.
If all of my sex shop material is going to be in my next year's show,
Yeah.
which is called "Just Because I'm Crying Doesn't Mean I'm Not Having a Nice Time."
That's a good title.
Where can people see that?
the
Melbourne
Melbourne's
Comedy
on
Festival,
So you have
sale
some
now.
Sydney
Aussies.
Comedy Festival, Brisbane Comedy Festival,
Beautiful.
Edinburgh Fringe, Glasgow Comedy Festival.
Yes.
2026.
And beyond.
2025.
Yeah, that's coming here.
I'm plugging
This year.
a year in advance. Everyone's very relaxed about like getting posters and stuff done because they think I'm doing the Fringe. Like they think I'm planning for the Fringe, and I'm like, Melbourne is in March. I should have already announced it. Actually, this all should be finished, and I'm behind.
Well, consider this an announcement, guys.
Yes,
There
yeah,
we go.
I'm doing it. Wait,
Launching hard.
I was cross stitching on the train up here.
Oh, here we go. Big reveal for the end of the show.
Gifts.
Well,
No pressure.
French
She
fancy.
made herself
Oh,
a scarf.
it just says the name of the show.
Oh
There you
wow.
go. Yeah, we look into the
I like
camera with that, and
Eh?
that's the thumbnail.
That's
I don't have a
medical.
poster, so I just cross stitched the name of the show onto this.
How long does that take?
Well, how long was the train?
15, 20 minutes.
4.5 hours.
It's pretty good.
4.5 hours.
Oh, I thought you meant from par to.
No, that would be very impressive.
Can we cut that bit out? Don't tell them what train station. Right. Oh, right, we're finished. Right, that's it. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Everybody knows this is.
No, they don't. Thanks a lot for joining
Just
us, guys.
blanking out the suburb. That's the only thing you're cutting.
Yes, thank you very much for tuning in to Some Laugh. We'll speak to you very soon.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Keep on laughing. Have a good time.
Keep on.
We should get that AI music thing to cut out anytime we say